In today's increasingly perilous world, even a small amount of information can mean the difference between life and death. However, we often find ourselves inundated with stories and advice from special agents, only to forget them when it matters most. To alleviate this concern, I have taken it upon myself to compile a list of the top 10 vital survival tips that can potentially rescue you in a contemporary survival situation. Remember to share this video with your friends, as it could also be a life-saving resource for them. Number 10. Getting out of a chokehold. Chokeholds involve someone getting behind you and strangling your throat with their arms. If they squeeze on your carotid artery, you'll pass out because of the lack of oxygen getting to your brain. If they know what they're doing, that can happen in 3 to 5 seconds, especially if they press their other hand against the back of your head. To prevent that from happening, lean your head back and do what you can to get your arm between your neck and the person's grip. As you do that, lean back and grab the person's shoulder, hair, or shirt. Basically, whatever you can grab, and be sure to hold on for dear life. Spread your legs wide and lean forward. If their arm is still around your throat, this will unbalance them. Still gripping their shoulder, whip them over your back so they fly over you onto the ground. Don't let them recover, or you'll be in big trouble. Do some damage to their face, and hopefully they pass out so you can make a run for it. The longer they stay out, the further you can get away. Number 9. How to survive a car crash. To minimize your chance of dying or being injured in a car crash, follow these simple steps. If you're the one behind the wheel, keep your hands at the 3 and 9 marks so you can steady yourself against the impact and avoid flying through the windshield. Grip these points while making sure your thumbs are on the outside as if you're hitchhiking. None of your fingers should be on the inside of the wheel, as that increases the chance of them fracturing or breaking at the point of impact. Neither should you cross your arms in front of you because that puts you at risk of breaking your wrist and forearms. If you're a passenger in the back, lean forward and rest your head against the seat in front of you to avoid ramming into it. Clasp your hands behind your head, rest your elbows on the seat in front, on either side of your face, and keep your knees bent at a 90-degree angle to cushion you on impact. This position minimizes the chances of your bones breaking on impact. Number 8. Save yourself from choking. If you see someone choking, the official advice is to first encourage them to cough to clear their blocked airway. If this doesn't work, first, try to deliver 5 sharp blows between the person's shoulder blades with the heel of your hand. If that doesn't work, try the Heimlich maneuver. You stand behind the victim, wrap your arms around them, and use your hands to pull their stomach in. This uses the power of the air in their lungs to expel whatever's in their throat. But what if you are the one who's choking and there's no one around? Fear not first. Of course, try to cough it out. If that doesn't work, make a fist with your strongest hand and place it on your abdomen about 2 inches above your belly button and beneath your ribcage. Be careful, you don't want to hurt your ribs. If you can feel them with your fist, you've positioned it too high or too far off center. Keep coughing and grip that fist with your other hand. Pull inward and up if that doesn't work. Find a chair, railing, or other object and push your fist against it until it comes out. Help yourself by exhaling sharply. Number 7. Surviving a swim. Swimming is fun, but it comes with many dangers, especially if you're not well informed. Some believe that if you hyperventilate, you can hold your breath for longer. While this is true, it's also dangerous because hyperventilating decreases the amount of CO2 in your blood. So, what you ask, well, that CO2 is what tells your brain that you need to breathe. So, hyperventilating will indeed help you hold your breath longer. Unfortunately, there's risk you'll hold your breath for longer than you should, causing you to pass out. This is called shallow water blackout and happens a lot. As well as heeding that advice, beware of the dangers of riptides, which are strong currents that can pull you out to sea. Though your natural instincts tell you to battle against the tide and swim towards the shore, this is a fatal error. You're unlikely to beat the tide this way, and you'll get very exhausted very quickly. Instead, swim parallel to the shore. This way, you're not going directly against the tide. Most rip tides aren't that wide, so by swimming parallel to it, you might swim out of it, allowing you to swim back to shore. Number 6. surviving a river crossing. Riptides don't just happen off the beach, they also happen in rivers, especially shallow ones. This makes them extremely deceptive because of powerful currents that may lie beneath. So, here's a simple rule of thumb. No matter how tempting that river looks or how seemingly placid and shallow it seems, don't cross it. Shallow streams carry a lot of kinetic energy, more than enough to carry you off your feet. If you're already in and get caught in a riptide, make your way to the bank diagonally at a 45-degree angle if possible. Don't head straight towards the bank as you'll be fighting the force of the current, which will exhaust you. If you get tired, try to float on your back and look downstream. Keep your feet pointing downstream to protect your head while keeping your legs bent to absorb any impact against rocks and other debris. Try to keep calm as you breathe when the waters flow to avoid swallowing too much. Once you're out of the current, make your way to the shore. Before I reveal the next example, you should subscribe if you're enjoying the video. We upload amazing fact-filled list videos daily. Also, make sure to click that bell icon to stay updated, or you'll regret missing out on some amazing knowledge that could have filled your brain. Now let's get back to it. Number 5. If you're being tied up. Except for the kinky sort, most people who find themselves being tied up don't find it fun. Should you find yourself amongst them, keep your wits about you because you have a chance while you're being tied up. Press your thumbs together to create some space between your hands as you're being tied. This way there will be some slack in the rope as they tie you up. When your captors have left, work with that slack to get free. If you're being tied against the chair, create space by inhaling deeply, but be subtle about it so your captors don't know. You can also try to arc your back and spread your legs to give yourself more slack around your torso, waist, and legs. If your hands are tied behind your back, get your legs through the loop of your arms so your hands are in front of you. That should make it easier to loosen the ropes since you can see what you're doing. And if your ankles are bound with duct tape stand, then squat to make a V shape with your legs so they snap off. Number 4. Surviving public places. Terrorists aren't interested in individuals so much as numbers. The more they can hurt or kill, the better they'll achieve their goal of spreading fear. So for optimal safety while traveling, avoid duty-free areas at airports. They're all in the unsecured parts of the building, and have you seen their ridiculous prices? It's simply not worth it. Worse, those are areas where most attacks happen because people flock there. If an attack happens, run, and if possible, hide. If you can get a fire extinguisher, spray foam onto the floor, that will make it slippery and harder for them to chase you. You can also spray it into the air to create a fog you can hide in as you make your way to safety. If you do find a hiding place, shut off the lights and put your phone in silent mode to avoid calling attention to yourself. When the first batch of police arrive, they're not your friends. They're there to neutralize the attackers as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, they have no way of knowing who's who. So when they find you, don't make any sudden moves. Do exactly as they say and keep your hands visible so they know you're unarmed. Number 3. Always carry tactical flashlights. Tactical flashlights are your best friends. Unlike regular flashlights, they cast a nearer beam. One with 150 to 299 lumens is enough to light up a big dark room, but it's also good for so much more. Why? Because 150 lumens is also enough to blind an attacker for a few minutes, while 300 lumens can do the same even during the bright of day. Most tactical flashlights are built to be sturdy and durable, and many come with serrated edges around the bowl. These are designed to break car windows. A handy tip in case you need to get out of a car in an emergency and can't get your door open, or you could use it to break one in case you forgot your keys. Christopher Falkenberg, a former Secret Service agent who now runs a security firm that services corporations, recommends lithium-operated flashlights. His reason: because they're smaller, lighter, last longer, and are brighter. Even better, the dreaded TSA lets you take them through their checkpoints with little to no hassles. Number 2. Barricading doors. In an emergency scenario, running for the exits is the best option, but if you can't do that, then lock yourself in a room. Unfortunately, doors don't always keep us safe as people can just kick them in. especially if they're made in China. So, for extra security, you'll need to barricade that door. One solution or wooden wedges that come with some doors as they're used to keep it from shutting. Just stick them beneath the door and jam them in as hard as you can. Those wedges will push the door into its frame, making the door hard to break down from the other side. If you don't have wedges, try sticking a chair under the handle and support the door with as much heavy furniture as possible. You can also stick a mop or broom against the handle if it's an L grip type to prevent it from being turned. Just be sure to stick something on the other end to keep the mop or broom from sliding on the floor, or if the door has self-closing bars, use your belt to tie it up so it can't be opened. Hide behind furniture in case someone starts shooting in, and set any alarms off to alert people of the situation. This either buys you more time to barricade another door or to attack the intruder while they're busy waiting through your stuff. Number 1. Surviving being shot at. This particular scenario presents a challenge and requires various items unless you possess the ability to outrun a bullet. In a desperate situation, a hardcover book or a well-made clipboard could offer some protection against a bullet, but it cannot guarantee safety against all calibers. For effective cover, a solid desk or table turned on its side can serve as a barrier, allowing you to hide behind it. However, avoid relying on stuffed furniture like chairs or sofas, as they are insufficient to halt a bullet in its path. Alternatively, if you can find a sufficiently large flower pot filled with enough soil, it may provide some cover. It is important to note that trash cans, even when filled, are too thin to stop a bullet. Similarly, hiding behind a car is not advisable, as its thin metal body won't offer adequate protection. Instead, seek refuge behind the front of the car, near the engine, as it provides a better chance of stopping a bullet. Avoid hiding at the rear unless it is filled with sturdy items. Remember to prioritize your safety and make informed decisions when seeking cover in dangerous situations. We greatly appreciate your viewership. If you have any additional survival tips you'd like to contribute, please feel free to share them in the comments section below. We value your input and look forward to hearing your insights. Thank you for watching.